All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to start painting your levels using the tile map feature in Unity for your UMMO RPG project. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over to the hierarchy in your project, and under the grid, you'll see this grid in the hierarchy. Open that up, and you'll see some various different tile maps in here. Right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to create our own tile map so that you can see how this works. I'm going to right click, go down to 2D object, and click tile map. I'm going to go down to the tile map, and I'm going to rename it something that makes sense. So we're going to start with the ground that they're walking on, so I'll call this tile map ground. Then for sorting layer, I want to make sure that, this is very important, make sure that you have the right sorting layer. So this is going to be terrain. And then I'm going to add a component, and I'm going to add a tile map collider 2D component to this tile map. Okay, you don't necessarily have to do this. You could probably just use the terrain tile map that comes with it, but I'm just showing you this so that you get an idea of how the tile map actually works. All right, so now that we have that, we're going to go over and we're going to create a new palette. So here's the default palette that comes with UMMO RPG, but we're going to create our own palette again so you can see how this works. I'm going to create a new palette. Just for brevity's sake, I'm going to name this my new palette. You can name this whatever makes sense for you. And then I'm going to come over here, I'm going to select a folder. I'm going to put it in my palettes folder again, put this wherever it makes sense for you. All right, so now I've saved that. Now I want to come over here. I've already imported some tiles into my project, and under my sprites, environments, earth tiles folder. Obviously you're going to import your own tiles that you want to use wherever makes sense for you. All right, then I'm going to take these tiles that I want to start painting with, I'm going to drag them over into my project, save them in a place again that makes sense for you. I'm going to drag my grass tile over. That's fine. All right, so now I've got some initial tiles that I can work with to start laying out some groundwork that looks like something like that. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I'm on the right terrain. So really important that you look up here under active tile map and make sure that you are on the correct tile map. So this is my tile map terrain. I'm going to be on that new tile map that we just created. So I'm at tile map ground. Okay. Then I'm going to select what I want to start working with. And if I have the paintbrush tool painted, you can see I've got this green thing selected, and I can just start painting my ground like that. That's going to take a really long time to make something like this. I'm going to just undo that. And instead, I'm going to click this little feature right here, this little square rectangle. And then I'm just going to hold down the mouse and drag it over like that. And you'll see I get this big rectangle here. Okay. Then so the next thing that I'm going to do is I want to start painting some of those sand tiles. So then I could just simply start painting the sand tiles like this to kind of make a path. If I messed up, I've got some over the edge like this. So then I could just go here with the eraser button and erase it. And then if I wanted to add some obstacles, I would just create I could create a new tile map for the obstacles. You can see there's buildings here, water. I've got a tile map for trees, where my trees could go. And I could still drag the tiles over here. So like I could take my trees, I could drag them over into this palette. And then when I'm painting on top of these, I would want to make sure that I'm using my trees tile map before I start painting trees onto this map. Let's see.